Welcome to our Hatha practice this morning. I hope you are all doing well and keeping moving your body and, keeping well in your mind. And even just sitting down and breathing for a few moments is part of that practice of grounding, noticing how you feel, and breathing. Keeping ourselves full of vitality, as they say. I love this expression, vim and vigor. So if you have a couple of blocks at home, might use those today. I'm going to try to use those. So I've got two. If you have a good size book, is another alternative. Just there's a couple of occasions where we might want to bring the floor a little bit up towards us. So have those handy. And let's come onto our backs. Okay, so when we're on our backs, just have the knees bent to begin with, the soles of the feet on the floor. Wide enough just so that you can let your knees rest in towards one another. They might not touch. There wants to be a kind of a looseness, a buoyancy, nothing too firm. We're not kind of activating the muscles to kind of squeeze the legs together. It's just allow the legs to be naturally kind of leaning in towards one another. And then checking in with your spine and your shoulders, your arms, feeling the backs of the arms on the floor, feeling how that translates into the front of the body. How does the front of the body feel? The belly, the chest, the ribs. And taking a nice, long, smooth breath in through your nose. Exhaling, nice, long, smooth breath out. Inhaling, nice, long, smooth breath in. And exhaling. Noticing how that feels through the body. Inhaling, nice, long, smooth breath in again. And then exhaling. Lovely. So from here we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Reach the left leg straight out along the mat. Encourage that right knee in as we flex the feet. Bring the toes in towards the nose. Feel that switching on of energy now, that strength in the body. As we inhale, we're going to stretch that right leg away. Lift the arms up over our head, pressing out through the palms, out through the heels. Inhaling, drawing the left knee in. Stay here for the exhale, pressing again out through both feet. And now as we inhale, we're going to straighten that left leg, lift the arms up, press out through the palms, out through the heels. Nice. Inhaling, right knee comes in, drawing that knee in nice and tight. Let's bend the left knee again and take the right ankle to the top of the left knee, just to give a little opening for that right hip. Inhaling, drawing the left knee in. For a moment or two in thread the needle pose, noticing how that feels into the spine, the right hip especially. How does it feel for your shoulders, your neck? Maybe you could draw your chin in a little towards your chest. And then release, nice and slowly, both feet to the floor, and then straightening the legs, lifting your arms up over your head, pressing out through the palms, out through the heels. Drawing the left knee in, giving your knee a nice squeeze in, and then bending the right knee so that you can take the left ankle across the top of that knee. Press the left knee away a little bit, and then inhale, draw that right knee in. Just as much as you can till you feel something interesting around your left hip. Remembering, our practice in the morning is always very different to how it might feel towards the end of the day. We're waking our bodies up nice and slowly. And then release both feet to the floor, bringing the knees in towards your chest, giving your knees a nice big hug. And let's take the knees nice and wide. Press down on the inside of the knees, a little stretch for the hips there, the inside of the legs. Lovely. And then bringing your knees back together. Let's take the soles of the feet to the floor again, close enough that you can touch the backs of your heels with your fingertips, and then press down through the feet as we lift the hips up. Now, not too big a move. You want to just create a little bit of movement now here, side to side. So you've got a much more interesting situation going on here through the side body, down into the hip, maybe moving your head, maybe making circles. Nice. We move our bodies very lovingly. We're not kind of forcing ourselves into various moves or shapes that don't feel like they're right for us. We want to be very kind of calm with the body. And then releasing back down nice and slowly. Lovely. Bringing the knees in towards the chest again one more time. Squeezing the knees in. And let's take that left leg straight along the mat, holding the right knee in. We're going to create a twist. So let's take this knee over to the left. Left hand guides the knee. Right arm reaches away. Reaching. And again, not forcing anything. Just should feel kind of like, oh yeah, oh I can feel that there. Where do I feel it? Really tune in to where you feel this in the body, and then make the practice loving. You go, okay, that's okay, body. I'm not going to force you any further. It's an interesting part of our practice that we have to really learn that our bodies are in charge here when we practice yoga. We want to listen and act accordingly, not what our mind wants us to do. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Our mind has all sorts of various expectations of what we might or might not be able to do. And then we get into a space of expectational kind of disappointment or surprise. Sometimes there's surprise, an element of surprise of, oh. But we tend to imagine we're going to be able to do things. So coming into the twist on the other side, just being very calm about it. The breath is our guide. And when we let ourselves be really curious and interested, it just changes the practice quite fundamentally. Releasing tensions, tightness that we discover. So coming back up to the center, and again, feet on the floor, pressing down through the feet, lifting the hips. Again, a little movement. Lovely. And then release, coming back down, bringing the knees in. And then to come up, we're either going to take our knees to the side and push up through the hand, or hands behind your knees as we inhale and we come up to sit. So let's take the legs out in front. Bringing the right knee in, taking that knee out to the side. We're going to explore how it feels now to maybe move forward. So again, we want to have the toes up, a little lengthening through the back of that left leg. Checking in with your knee, your hip, your lower back, your shoulders. And don't be too forceful. Just to the edge there that feels interesting. You could also pull a little energy into the belly here. Just apply a little switching on of the energy in the lower belly. Little pull. And that's more an energy lock, the bandhas. Keeping our energy kind of in our body rather than, as my teacher refers to, kind of talks about energy leaking out. As we inhale, slowly making your way back up, draw that right knee in, straightening that right leg, left knee in, out to the side, and let's explore how this feels on this side. So again, reminding ourselves that it's okay not to have our body flat on our leg. Or if it is, it is. We just find maybe a little movement, not getting stuck, not overdoing either. We don't want to overdo and we don't want to underdo. Nice. And then as we inhale, we come back up, draw that knee in, straightening that leg. Bringing the right knee in, and we're going to take that foot up and over the straight leg, coming into a twist. Left arm comes round the knee, right hand behind, and we want to sit nice and tall. So again, there's that action into what is our energy feel like. Little pull into the lower belly, drawing the right shoulder back. Try not to make it about how much your head can turn around. It's about the whole entire spine. And then there's that switch on of all the muscles, so you can apply now that extra awareness of whoosh, squeezing the muscles. Activating the muscles, keeping those muscles alive and vibrant. Nice. And then release. Nice and slowly we're going to take that foot to this side of the leg and then twisting around the other way, left hand behind us, right elbow to the inside of the knee, and then really apply some action here, the knee against the arm and the arm against the knee. So there's again that switching on of the muscles, actively pressing that right foot down into the floor. Noticing how that feels behind the shoulders. And then release. So it's a nice way to liven up those muscles. So left foot comes in. Take that over the top of the right leg. Right arm comes round. Left hand behind. And again, we're sitting up nice and tall out of the sit bones. The sit bones move down into the earth. Nice and straight. And again, now you can apply that extra level of awareness of squeezing the muscles, actively switching on all the muscles that live around the spine. It's only something really can be felt on the inside. It takes practice. Takes us into a place of being present. And then release nice and slowly, coming round. And we'll take that foot now underneath the knee, right hand behind us, and then now this left elbow is pressing against the knee against the elbow, and there's that aliveness, that sudden action. Again, you can feel all the various muscles working. Nice, and then release. Let's take that left leg straight and slowly come down over both legs now into our Paschimottanasana. And again, there is a switch on of muscles here. There's a little pull into the lower belly that frees up the lower back. The shoulders are moving down away from your ears, and we're into those hamstrings, but not overdoing. Of course, if it just feels like it's too crazy for you, you could always bend your knees a little bit and lengthen through the back of the body that way. Nice. As we inhale, slowly coming back up, let's bring the knees in, take the soles of the feet together, coming into Konasana, butterfly pose. So hands come around the toes, a little movement of the knees up and down, a little flutter. And again, we want to lift the chest all the time. We're looking to lengthen the spine, keep the spine, lots of space between every single vertebra. So maybe a little movement of your head. Lovely. And then as we inhale, let's come back to the center and bring our knees together. Coming up and over onto all fours. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Moving now into cat-cow. So as we inhale, we create this arch in the back. We look forward. So again, there's a lengthening through the front of the body and a squeezing of the muscles in the back of the body. Rounding your back, so you're going to push your hands into the floor and see if you can push the shin bones down into the floor while you round your back. Inhaling, coming forward. So we're actively now really looking for where's the action? Where's the action? There is ease, but at the moment we just want to focus. Rounding your back, pressing the legs into the earth, pressing the hands into the earth. What happens? How does that feel? And then inhaling, coming forward, nice arch through the back so the legs kind of soften. And then rounding your back, pushing the hands into the floor, pushing the shin bones down into the earth, rounding, and then release. A little movement side to side now, moving your head, shoulders, spine, hips. And losing yourself in that movement, but losing yourself while staying connected to how it feels. Where do you feel it? Lovely. Coming back to the center now, we're going to step our right foot forward. So helping it through to the top of the mat. And this is where we might like to have our block. So if the floor feels like it's kind of too far away, you could have your hands on blocks here, just to give your body a little bit more space, a bit more length. Sometimes it's quite easy to kind of feel like we have very short arms in these lunges. So you could always have them up a little higher, because what I'm hoping we might do is actively push our hands down into the earth and notice how that transitions the interesting feeling into the left leg, into the left hip, when we create that little action through the hands. You might even let that left knee float off the floor. It might not. So you kind of, again, being aware of, let the hips come down to the earth. We're pushing down into the earth with the hands. We're noticing how that moves into that left leg. So one of the really beautiful benefits of yoga practice is how much strength it really helps us to create in the body. So let's release from there. Take the blocks out of the way. Hands are on the floor. We're going to tuck those toes at the back, straighten that left leg, and step the right foot back. Plank pose. So here's kind of an obvious pose that requires strength. We're pressing out through the heels, strong arms, strong body, breathing, and then release the knees. Take your hips back towards the heels, keeping your hands where they are. Forehead touches down, a little movement of your chin from side to side. And then as we inhale, let's round our backs, slowly come forward. And we're going to take our elbows down onto the earth. Let the hips come down onto the earth and come into Sphinx Pose. So we want to kind of brighten the area around the heart, like we're lifting the energy up into the heart. Lengthening the shoulders away from the ears, so that we're kind of lengthening those shoulder blades down the back of the body, lifting up into the front of the body. Hips relaxed, legs relaxed. We don't want to do any squeezing here. Lovely. And then release. Let's take our elbows out to the side, slowly coming down. Hands come underneath the shoulders as we slowly make our way back up onto all fours. And let's step the left foot forward to the top of the mat. So again, blocks might be super here. Just to keep that awareness of the action that we can create in the arms. So pushing the hands down into the block. What happens when that happens? Just play with that. Maybe loosen, maybe let the hands be nice and soft, but we're checking in what's happening in the body. And then when you push the hands into the earth, where does that translate into? What happens? Maybe the right knee floats off the floor, but feeling that energy in the leg, in the hip, that aliveness, and remind ourselves that we are alive and we get to celebrate that we have these magnificent bodies taking us around, transforming our food into energy, transforming the sun's light into energy. Lovely. And then slowly release. So let's take the blocks away. Hands underneath the shoulders, tucking those right toes under, stepping the left foot back. Plank pose. Again, nice and strong through the arms. So fingers nice and wide, protecting your wrists. Strong through the body. A little pull of energy into the lower back. So the legs are very strong here. And then knees come down, hips come back towards the heels. We keep the toes tucked, keep the length in the arms. Forehead comes down, and then that little movement so that we don't have any tension in our neck. Lengthening through the spine. Lovely. And then release. No, sorry, we're going to round our backs. Rounding into our backs, coming forward. Hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. And then we come back onto all fours. But let's bring our elbows, our forearms down onto the earth again. We kind of come via a plank variation here. We're a bit lower. You can have a moment here in our low elbow plank. And then let the hips come down. Nice. So from here, just a little movement of the hips, relaxing the hips, noticing how that feels through the spine, the lower back. And we're going to bring the left arm kind of across. So the elbow is still underneath the shoulder, the left elbow underneath the shoulder. And let's draw that right knee in, or right foot rather, bending the right knee. See if we can reach that foot behind us. Oh, it might all of a sudden be like, oh my goodness, all sorts of interesting things to feel here. So we're going to inhale, look towards the right foot. And then as you exhale, turning your head to the left as you draw that right foot in. Inhaling, kind of lift up and look back, and then exhaling. It might be very interesting in the front of that right leg. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling. So just play with that a little bit. 2 more times. Inhaling, a little lift, exhaling. 1 more time, inhaling and exhaling. Lovely, releasing that leg. Let's bring the right elbow underneath the right shoulder, and we're going to bend the left knee, taking hold of that foot with the left hand. So we're kind of upright, breathing, staying nice and calm. So we want to inhale, look over your left shoulder towards your foot. And as you exhale, you turn your head to the right and pull that foot in towards you. Inhaling, a little lift, looking back. Exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So exploring how that feels, where you feel it. The right leg is quite relaxed. Inhaling, lifting. We have 2 more. Exhaling. Just noticing if there's any sort of change. Inhaling, lifting. And then exhaling. Lovely. Releasing that left leg. Let's come down onto our belly. A little movement of the hips from side to side. Nice. And let's take the hands underneath the shoulders now. Coming back up onto all fours, and actually press the hips back towards the heels, lengthening. So this is nice, it's like a lovely pull. So your hips don't quite meet the heels. We're kind of making that longer for the spine. So it's not quite child's pose, but it's nearly. It's like an extended active version of child's pose. And then rounding into your back, slowly making your way up. Let's step the right foot forward. Left knee stays on the floor. This time we're going to take our hands onto our right knee. So again, it's targeting the front of the legs here. We tend to have lots of strength in the front of the legs. Let's take our hands behind us, encourage the hips towards the earth. A little opening of the chest, elbows out to the side. We're encouraging the elbows in towards one another. That broadening across the collarbones. Having our balance here and belief in the lower half of the body, that it's going to keep us steady. We've got that right foot planted down into the earth, strength into that left leg. It's an asymmetrical shape, but we have to find our balance and that openness. Lovely. And then release. Let's take the hips back a little, lift the toes up towards the nose, very lovingly into our half splits, we call this Ardha Hanuman. Very, very loving, this pose, this shape. Nice. And then as we inhale, bend that front knee. And we're going to slide that right foot back. And let's do the other side. So left foot forward, right knee down on the earth. And we're going to come up, take our hands onto our lower back and encourage that kind of lengthening really for the lower back. So there's no pinching, opening through the front of the body, finding we have to really be connected through the soles of the feet, that left sole of the foot, but the right top of the foot, the legs, checking in with your hips. It just shows you how much you have to be present, involved, paying attention so that you can remain in this shape. Noticing how your breath feels. And again, where is the energy? Can we actively pull the energy into the center of the body? Lovely. Releasing your hands. And then hips come back towards the heels, toes come in towards the nose. Ardha Hanuman, half splits, never ever forcing. Of course, this might be where I should have said it on the other side, but your blocks might be very handy here, coming up a little higher, and then you might go, oh, I can come up nice and high. I could straighten my leg. Placement of your hands is very important. Lovely. And then as we inhale, let's bend that front knee. Hands come onto the earth. And we're going to slide that left foot back. Nice. Bringing the knees a little wider. Big toes touch. Hips back towards the heels. And come into wide-kneed child's pose. So your hands, your arms can rest beside you. Maybe broadening across the back of the body, relaxing. Nice. Let's take our hands now underneath the shoulders, rolling up. And we'll come up onto our feet. So, nice and slowly. Taking your feet nice and wide, hanging down over your legs, a softness in the knees. Let your head be nice and heavy. Maybe take hold of your elbows or your forearms. A little sway from side to side. Lovely. And then releasing your hands as we inhale, we're going to roll up one vertebra at a time. So no rush. Arms nice and heavy, head nice and heavy. And when you get to the top, rolling your shoulders back and down a few times. Moving your head a little side to side. Lovely. And then coming to the top of your mat, I'm actually going to turn around. Big toes touching. Coming into mountain pose. As we inhale, let's draw the arms up, reaching up towards the sky. Exhaling, folding over. Now this might be a place for the blocks. So I'm going to grab my blocks actually. Again, we want to take our hands onto something that we can push our hands down into. Maybe the floor, maybe those blocks. So just to feel what changes. Sometimes we kind of can't reach the floor and it all gets a little stressful. So if we bring the floor up to us, and again you're going to feel that transition of energy into the lower belly. Chin in towards the chest. As we inhale, we're going to step the right foot back. Knee comes down. Left hand to your knee, right arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhaling, taking your hands to the earth, tucking your toes at the back, left foot back, plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels, tidal pull. Rounding into your back, slowly making your way forward, hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Exhaling, tucking your toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. So all the energy, hands and feet, checking in with your spine, little movement of your head from side to side. Maybe bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Nice. As we inhale, let's step the right foot forward between the hands. And we're going to come straight round to the left. So sideways on your mat. Bending your left knee, straightening your right leg. So keeping the heels down, keeping that right baby toe down, hands underneath the shoulders for support. And then bending your right knee, straightening your left leg. Again, a little buoyancy. As we inhale, we're going to come to the center, straighten both legs and fold over. So hands to your ankles, folding over your legs. Let your head be nice and heavy. Noticing how that feels energy-wise on the inside of the legs. Nice. And then hands come underneath your shoulders, coming back up. Let's come round over that right foot. Stepping the left foot forward, and again pressing down into something, the floor, your blocks. And then as we inhale, we come back up. Exhaling, folding over, hands to the earth. So the earth might be a block, might be a book. You're pushing down into the hands. Just transferring energy into your arms, into the belly, freeing in a way the hamstrings a little here when we do that. Stepping your left foot back. Knee comes down, right hand to your knee, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Exhaling, taking your hands to the earth, tucking your toes, right foot back, plank pose. Knees come down, hips come back towards the heels, tidal pull. Inhaling, rounding your back, hips come down, chest lifts, chin lifts. Exhaling now, pressing back, downward facing dog. And of course, if downward dog isn't right for you, you can always do a variation where you take your hands a little further away, encouraging the heart towards the earth. So just make sure you're practicing right for your body, breathing, moving, exploring. So as we inhale now, we're going to step the left foot forward between the hands. Nice, come round to the right. Bending your right knee, straightening your left leg. So just notice if the hands are a little bit lighter, or maybe we still need them to be quite strong. And then bending your left knee, straightening your right leg. Nice, and then coming to the center now, both legs straight, hands around your ankles, folding over your legs, pulling the energy into that lower belly. Strong but light, strong and light, effort and ease. So where's the strength? Where's the effort? Nice. And then as we take our hands underneath our shoulders, come up with a nice flat back, come round over that left foot, step the right foot forward, and again, actively pressing the hands down into the floor or into your blocks, noticing what changes. As we inhale, we come up, nice flat back. Hands come down through the center of the body, resting your thumbs on your breastbone, just to take a moment to feel your breath, your temperature, your energy. Lovely. And then coming down to sit on your mat. So one option for sitting is with your legs crossed. That might be one option. Another is to sit on your, doesn't really sound right sitting on your knees, but sitting so that your hips are on your heels. That would be another way. If you're sitting with your legs in front of you, maybe sitting on something, just to give your lower back a little bit of space. As we move a little now for the arms. We're going to take the arms out to the side. Nice. Take the right arm underneath the left. Spin the arms, lift the elbows a little bit. And then a little move, a little twist to the right. Inhaling, coming back to the center, a little twist to the left. Inhaling, coming back to the center, a little lift up. And then rounding, we come forward. Elbows in towards the belly, chin in towards the chest. And then we inhale, we come back up again. Unraveling our arms. Let's take our arms behind us, interlinking our fingers, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And release. Let's take our right hand out to the side. Left arm reaches up and over. And we're encouraging the hip to stay down, lengthening out through those top fingers. So there's two energies here. We're pushing into the earth and reaching up and over. Inhaling, we come up. Exhaling the other side. So again, you kind of have to push into the floor with your left hand to create that length through the side body. Inhaling, we come back up. Arms out to the side. Left arm underneath the right this time. Lifting the elbows. So really broadening across the back of the body. Little twist to your left. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Little twist to the right. Inhaling, coming back, coming up. Looking up towards the sky. And then rounding your back. Chin in towards the chest. Elbows in towards the belly. And then inhaling, coming back up. Unraveling your arms. Taking your hands behind. interlinking your fingers, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Now I know we can't see our arms, but just check in. Where are the heels of your hands? Can we encourage the heels of the hands to come together? How does that feel? Might not be possible. And release. Let's take the arms in front, rounding our back, chin in towards the chest. Nice. And then release, coming back up. Let's take the right arm back behind us. So we want to take the right arm up, encourage that elbow back, and then the right hand is going to be kind of behind your neck. I'm just going to turn around so you can see. So then releasing that left hand, turning the arm, seeing if you can place that left arm up along the spine. Maybe the fingertips touch, maybe they don't. As long as you're breathing, noticing where this feels the most. And then release. Nice and slowly unraveling your arms. Just let your hands rest on your knees for a moment. And then we'll see how it feels on the other side. So we don't want to do anything too much. Left arm is up, encouraging that left elbow back. So the right hand is kind of cupping that elbow, encouraging that. Now that might be enough for you. All depends. Our shoulders are very complex, really, structures. So the right arm comes round, and you might, feel a very big difference between the left side and the right side. So if you just get to the point where you're like, okay, that's as far as I can go, that's fine. Just relax your left hand wherever it comes to. So, we're very likely to have it feeling one way on one side and a different way on the other side. But the intelligence comes when we practice with the body, not expectations. Nice. And then slowly, slowly release. Releasing the arms. Resting your hands on your knees again. Noticing how that feels. Lovely. So we'll sit now with our legs out in front of us. Let's bring the right knee in, out to the side. Let's take the left hand behind us, create a little mini twist. And then as we inhale, we come back to the center, folding over the left leg. As we inhale nice and slowly, we're going to make our way back up. Draw the right knee in, straighten that right leg. Left knee comes in, out to the side. Right hand behind us, coming into a mini twist here. Just to feel that lift. And then come back to the center, and we'll fold over the right leg As we inhale, nice and slowly making our way back up. Let's draw the left knee in, straightening that leg. Bring the knees in, coming into our butterfly pose. So hands around the toes again. A little lift of the chest. And this time we're going to fold a little forward over the legs, just to create that length in the lower back area. You might have your elbows a little on the legs there, encouraging the legs out to the side. Try not to round your back. Encourage the chest forward, the chin lifts a little, and again there's that opportunity of a little pull in towards the lower belly. Looking for space, looking for freedom in the joints, in the muscles. Nice, and then as we inhale, slowly making your way back up, drawing the knees together, straightening your legs. This time we're going to lift the arms, reach, reach, reach up, and then exhaling, folding over your legs, Paschimottanasana. And again, you could always have your hands right beside your legs. You don't need to be reaching for your feet. Give yourself that freedom. That sense of allowing yourself to have your hands beside you here. There can still be lots of energy without it being all in the arms and the shoulders. And as you inhale nice and slowly now, making your way back up. Let's take our hands behind us, fingers pointing in towards the body. And now we're going to do that squeeze of the shoulder blades together. Nice, good, juicy squeeze of the shoulder blades. That lift of the heart. Nice. Strong through the arms, really pushing the hands down into the earth. And release. And let's come into Shavasana from here. So taking your feet nice and wide on your mat. Come down onto your back. Arms out to the side. And really placing your body on the floor. So turning the arms so that the palms are facing up. Nice. And we're going to do a little squeeze of the body now. So we're going to lift the right leg off the floor an inch. Squeeze the right leg. So press out through the heel. Pointing the toes, squeeze, 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 and release. Lifting the left leg, press out through the heel, pointing your toes, squeeze that left leg, and then drop. So just a squeeze of lifting the hips, squeeze of the glutes, kind of a tiny little move. The hips might not even come the whole way off the ground, but you can still squeeze, and then release. So really kind of shape the lower half of the body. Nice. Drawing your fingertips in towards your hands. Lifting your arms off the floor an inch. Squeezing the arms nice and tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Stretching the fingers nice and wide. Stretching, stretching, stretching. And then dropping the arms. So we want to lift the chest a little here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together underneath us. Squeezing, 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 and then really broaden the shoulders, lowering back down. Shoulders come up towards the ears, your neck disappears. Squeezing, 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 and then release. Pressing the shoulders down away from the ears, nice long neck, and release. Squeezing your face nice and tight in towards your nose. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze all the muscles in your face. And release. Stretching your face now, nice and wide, sticking out your tongue. And release. Slowly turning your head to the right. Inhaling, coming back to the center, turning your head to the left. Inhaling, coming back to the center. If you need to do your head turns a few more times, then maybe it doesn't need to go quite so far. But once we are finished moving, just arrive and really allow, kind of dedicate yourself to this opportunity to soften, to let go, to let the earth hold you, support you. One of the most important poses that we practice is Shavasana. It takes just as much dedication, maybe even a little bit more, to soften, to let go. What is it we can cut away from our lives? What is it that we don't need? Just allowing the breath to move nice and slowly through your body, really being breathed, not having to do anything, not having to compare yourself to anything or anyone. We let go. We move into a sense of deep peace as we experience this lovely downward release. Maybe scanning, feeling the back of the body. Scanning, feeling the front of the body. Allowing the front of the body to sink a little deeper towards the back of the body. Lovely. So beginning now to take a nice deep breath into your body. As you slowly start to move your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, drawing your legs together. Lifting your arms up over your head, giving yourself a nice stretch. And drawing your knees in towards your chest as you give your knees a nice big hug. A little rock from side to side. And then rolling over onto onto your right side, curled into a ball. Pressing into the earth with your left hand to come up to sit in a nice comfortable cross-leg position. Resting your hands on your knees. As we take a moment to notice how we feel, how our energy is. Noticing how our sit bones feel moving down into the earth. The energy along the spine, around the heart. And as we move into our day, may our foundation be blessed. May we notice that we have a foundation, a grounding, an opportunity, a practice that helps us to feel grounded, to establish our foundation. So may our foundation be blessed. May the seeds that are planted be nourished and flourish. The seeds of ideas, may all weeds of the past be released. And may wisdom guide us to a good heart. As we draw our hands together now in front of our heart, bowing in gratitude, in thanks to our bodies and our breath and our minds and our hearts for serving us so well. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace to each and every one of you. Namaste.